Good Friday morning. Today is Friday, March 18th, 2022. This is your Friday morning safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. Safety department is located in the Z building, which is the southernmost building on this main facility here. We're on the ground level, not the basement, not upstairs, right on the ground level, center of the room, right next to the pillars. So if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to stop by. And if it's not safety related, we'll point you in the right direction to some experts that can get you the right questions answered. So we do this meeting most Friday mornings. You know, we're live here in Springfield, Missouri. We are also live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're ever out on the road and want to check us out, you know, feel free to do that. Of course, don't do it while you're driving down the road. You can always go to your archives and get access to these videos. We're also simulcasting from two other terminals, Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City, Utah. So first thing we'll do is we'll reach out to our folks at the other terminal. So let's go east first. I think we've got Rick with us this morning in Pittston. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning.
There you are. All right.
So there's not much hoo-ha up here today. We're a little light.
Right. So we got Bill, we got Lisa, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your friends. All right. Tell us what's going on in Pittston.
Hey, at least if they're not here, they're out working. That's what we need, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's new and interesting in the Pittston, PA terminal?
Well, there's no snow on the ground, so that's a bonus. And it's been 50s and 60s throughout the week, which is nice. Nice walking weather. So it looks like they're going to start opening up this across the street and get this parking lot finished up.
That's awesome. You know, I was kind of looking forward on the weather deal, and I think you guys and us are pretty much in the clear going into springtime. You know, those folks out west, I'm not so sure about them, but you know, we'll deal with them when they come, right?
Folks out west, what do you mean?
You know, we got a terminal in Salt Lake City.
Oh, that's right, we do. That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The best.
So, well, good deal. If anybody in Pittston has any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the mic.
Troy, we love you.
I can't say the same.
Troy, there's a piece of me that was just gonna skip right over you today and go right to Springfield, but that wouldn't be right to the folks that you've got there assembled. So let's go west. We've got Troy Rich with us this morning and this great crowd out in Salt Lake City. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning. They are so happy to be in Salt Lake City. Most of them are asleep and they cheering in their sleep, man. It's good.
Well, they got good reason to cheer. You've got a gorgeous facility out there. The weather's not too terrible for this time of year being Salt Lake City. So tell us what's going on, what's new and interesting out west.
Oh, yeah. No, it's beautiful out here. You know, just like today, it's going to be 60 and tomorrow it's going to snow. So that's what's good about the West. It just comes through here pretty quick and, you know, and then you guys get all our residuals. So, but yeah, it's really nice out here right now. We've got a good crowd still. We got a good bunch of PSD trainees out here right now. And we're getting more and more trainers coming back and grabbing, you know, our students. So it's working out really well out here for us.
Well, good deal, good deal. So here in Springfield, you know, it's Springfield Public Schools is on spring break this week, so a ton of folks are out this week. You know, is that kind of the same deal out there in Utah, or?
No, we're still going to school out here. You know, we believe in education in Utah. I don't know about you guys out there, but we believe.
Obviously, it didn't pay off for you though, Troy, right?
Troy's from this area though. So, hey, we really appreciate you being on. You got your gorgeous gymnasium. You got your gorgeous workout facility, your brand new shop. You know, the operations building looks top notch. So I guess you think you're better than we are now. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
You betcha, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Right back here to Springfield, Missouri. Well, how are you guys this morning?
Man, I think they ate too much breakfast, Dennis. I mean,
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because
Yeah.
our folks over here in the cafeteria are doing a great job of taking care of us. Let's give those folks a round of applause for taking care of us every single Friday morning. You know, just like with any industry, you know, during this post or current or whatever we call it, COVID mindset, you know, staffing is always a challenge. And, you know, we've had some staffing challenges over here in our cafeteria, but however, they've maintained throughout. You know, John Blanson and his crew have made sure every single Friday morning that we have been available to do this meeting, that we have had food free for every single one of our drivers that want to participate. So thank you guys over there, doing an excellent job. So with me this morning, I've got this guy, Dave White.
how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. You doing okay? I know you're
Good.
I know your Hawkeyes went down.
They did.
You,
Yep. 5 seed goes down to a 12, but
Yeah,
that happens.
I heard
That's what they
some-
call it, March Madness.
Heard some cuss words from your seat yesterday,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm doing better. I'm coming back.
All right. Well,
But
good deal.
At
Good
least
deal.
we're not Kentucky. You know what I mean?
That's right. Tell us what you got this morning.
So first thing I'd like to do, welcome everybody. If you're new here to Prime, this is your first week of orientation. All 3 terminals. If you could stand, be recognized. Love to see you stand up. Thank you for coming to our family. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate every one of you. Thank you for taking that chance to come, maybe start a new career. Maybe some of you are experienced. I'm sure more of you are probably just getting into trucking. This is the first time, and this is a great career, I can tell you. I've been doing it for going on 30 years here pretty soon, and I drove for about 4 years first and came in-house and worked a couple of different companies. Been here Prime for 20 years. This is the place to be. You will get the best training right here, I'm telling you. We get asked, we go to safety council conferences nationwide, number of us doing our safety department. One of the first things we're asked is, how do you guys do your training program? How do you guys keep your drivers out? You know, first of all, well, we pay them, but number 2, we're invested in your education. We want you to learn and we want you to be the best. And that's not by going to a truck driving school and going 4 or 5 weeks and then go to a carrier and here's your keys and you're ready to go. That's not the way to do it. We want you to know our system. We want you to know our brand before you ever get into a truck by yourself, and that you're comfortable with it. And if you're not, that's fine. Let us know. Let our fleet managers know. Even though you've been out your 30,000 miles after you get your CDL, if you're not ready to go out on your own, let us know. We'll keep you out there with a trainer. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody learns at different intervals, at different stages. Some people are quicker than others. I know when I first driving, it took me forever how to back up a trailer. I could never back, and I do the perception, the distance. When I was going to hit the dock, many times I'd be backing out, so bam, I'd hit the dock, and I'd be like, oh, geez. And of course, the guys inside, they're laughing at you. You know, like, you got a rookie out here, and that's me, you know. Until one day, I had a trainer come up to me, because my trainer was only a couple of weeks long, but I had a trainer come up to me. He says, hey, what are you looking at when you're backing up in your trailer? Well, look at the side of my trailer. He goes, no, don't look at the side of your trailer. Look at your wheels. Look at your wheel, where your wheels are at on the trailer. And I was like, oh. And I started doing that. And you know what? Things got better. You know, those little techniques, those little, you know, pieces of information you get from people from, you know, and I was able to start getting a little bit better at backing. And that was just all part of the process. I didn't know, you know, I was just doing the best I could by looking at the side of the trailer. What, 53 foot or back then 48 foot even trailers. That's a long piece of equipment. So you don't really know for sure. And that perception, when you're going to touch that dock and all that. So, you know, things like that. That's what's important about our training program, being invested. We got some great trainers here. I think we got the best training program in the industry. Yesterday, Stan Casterkey and I, we went to the Missouri Trucking Association, and we go to a lot of conferences. And I'm gonna slide on into safety if you don't mind, unless you got anything to add.
Apparently it's your show. Go for
All
it.
right. So anyway, we went up there and you know, we go to these safety conferences once a month. We try to at least represent Prime and meet other carriers and such. And Captain Kevin Kelly, he's been here a number of times from Missouri Highway Patrol. He oversees the commercial motor vehicle section. He got on there and he was on Zoom. He wasn't able to come in the office. They had a pretty big accident down on I-57 yesterday. And I don't know how many of you heard this, but it did make national news. It's not good. I'm going to have Richard pull it up here. We got a news segment today on that, and see if Richard can play that for us and try to give us a little background to what happened, and we'll talk about it. Richard's going solo over here. There we go.
Following a devastating crash on I-57 in Mississippi County, 6 people were killed. Crews are working to reopen the interstate as soon as possible. Isabel Hansen is live now in the studio with the latest.
Jeff, we now know 14 people were injured during the crash, according to the Missouri State Highway Patrol's preliminary investigation. Every law enforcement official I spoke with at the scene said it was the worst, most devastating crash they've seen. Sergeant Jeff Kinder with the Missouri State Highway Patrol tells me fog played a role in the crash, but the Major Crash Investigation Unit is working to try to determine a more exact cause for the crash. To do that, they're using witness statements and evidence collected at the scene. Crews spent more than 12 hours helping victims, towing vehicles, and removing debris from the roadway today. One worker with the tow truck company says the devastation reminded him just how precious life is.
Every minute is precious, and that you just never know. I mean, there were people that started their day to day going, knowing what they were going to do tonight, planning what they were going to do tonight and this weekend. And unfortunately, people have lost their lives. And so, yeah, it's always unfortunate and sad. Never want to see it.
Sergeant Kinder also tells me a trooper saved a life today by rescuing someone from a burning vehicle. Again, Interstate 57, both northbound and southbound, is still closed from I-55 to the Illinois state line, but we'll keep you updated on KFES 12 on our KFES 12 app when the interstate reopens.
Yeah, so you can see pretty major accident there. And, I want to show you this because it's important to realize you guys are getting in a dangerous profession. Every guy and gal sitting in this room, trucking is a dangerous profession, there's no doubt. And being aware of what's going on and when to stop and what to do, it's of major importance. And that's where your training comes in. That's where your trainer, hopefully, they'll communicate to you. And you need to as well when you get your own truck, because you're not going to be in every condition. Then that 30,000 miles or 40,000 miles, you're out with your trainer. So you need to use some, you need to think about what you're going to do and how you're going to act and what's going to happen if the roads get bad. That situation there, got fog came in, and that's what Captain Kelly told us. Occurred about 5 o'clock yesterday morning. Fog settled in. It's then the lower river valley down there by the Mississippi between Sykeston and Cairo. And, it got real foggy and people didn't react and didn't drive accordingly. And that's what happens. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. Hopefully it brings the people's attention aware. But fog conditions are one of the worst conditions to drive in. I know we've been talking last number of months about winter driving, snow and ice. It's that time of year right now for the fog to settle in, and this is what comes about. So be prepared for that. If you have questions, you come into that. Hey, slow down. Try to look for an exit. Try to get off. Try to get parked, safely parked. Many times, fog will lift. Not too, give it a couple hours. It'll lift out of an area. You'll be good to go. But it's good communication, good talk with your trainer on what to do and what not to do. Unfortunately, there's 6 people that have passed on that accident. They said 14 injured. So I know they had I-57 shut down both lanes, both ways for 12 hours, which creates another nightmare for the highway patrol and police because now they got to reroute traffic. And I know you guys a lot of you get you through your navigation, where to go. And now all of a sudden you got to go a different direction. And so, those situations come up and sometimes those can cause accidents too, putting traffic out on 2-lane highways and things like that. But once again, you got to drive defensively. Your safety is number one always, and that of the motoring public. And if you need to stop, you need to take time off, you're not feeling well, weather conditions aren't looking right, get a hold of your fleet manager and tell them and let them know what's going on. Communicate. We can communicate with the customer. That'll be taken care of. That's not a problem. We just want you there safely and everybody else. So anybody have any questions on this accident? I don't have a whole much more except what's been shown, but if you do, let us know. So.
Hey, I got a statement, Dave.
Go ahead, Rick.
Hey, if you do find yourself rerouted on those 2-lane roads, some of those turns that you're going to have to make or they might be quite sharp, and you just got to watch that trailer track and make sure that you're swinging wide for those left and right hand turns. You don't want to put that trailer in the ditch.
That's a good point right there. A couple other things Captain Kelly brought up with us yesterday. It was discussed 156 fatalities so far since January 1st here just in Missouri alone. And that's all vehicles. So that's commercial, car, you name it, the whole 9 yards. Now, those involved in commercial vehicles are just 21, but still we're 5 up from last year. No fault assessed on those 21. There are just accidents involving commercial vehicles. One thing that did strike me though, the 156 fatalities, 62% of people were unbelted. That seatbelt will save your lives, folks. So wear it all the time in a commercial vehicle, and even in cars nowadays. Most states it's a requirement. You have to have your seatbelt on. We want it over your shoulder and buckled. So remember that, and it needs to be worn properly, tight against your chest. If you have problems with your chest, some people may have had surgeries in the past or something, that seatbelt bothers you. They do make like filter or like a cover that will go over it, make it feel a little bit better. Our seat belts in our trucks are orange. I get asked that, why are they orange? So enforcement can see you're wearing it. Years ago, we started out here with brown seat belts, and we had a number of write-ups because enforcement thought that our drivers didn't have it on. So we said, okay, we'll switch to orange. And that was a good go-to because our number of violations on seat belts dropped. But make sure you're wearing your seat belt all the time because you don't want to be involved in an accident without it. So
give us those inspection numbers.
inspection numbers this past week, 141 inspections, 94 clean, so a 67% clean rate. Good job on inspections. We did a good job. Yep. Round of applause, no doubt. We like those clean inspections because that's what drives our CSA numbers and makes us look better out there on the roadway. More importantly, probably to some of you, is you get money off of them. So $100 independent contractor, owner operator, 25 for a company driver. So keep getting those clean inspections. Don't cut corners. You need to know your equipment inside and out here. And we're very fortunate. A lot of our equipment, we run newer stuff. Our trailers are newer than most carriers. Tractors are newer too as well. So, but you got to do those pre-checks because certain things will break down and you got to be on top of it. And you don't want to break down out on the road. That's not fun. So make sure you stay on top of them. You got anything to add?
Got some housekeeping notes, but I got to look at the information first. Make sure you tell them about TDC.
Yeah, so we got some little get-togethers coming up. First, I think it's April 11th is our Highway Diamonds for the ladies. Yeah, put your hands together. Yeah, no doubt. Highway Diamonds gala we have April 11th over here at the Oasis. If you're a lady, you'll be invited to attend. If you can attend, great. It's a good celebration for all of our female drivers. They do a wonderful job. I messaged Brooke Mosley this morning. She came back with what I think she said, 1,400, I think, of our drivers are female now here at Prime. National average is about 7% for most trucking companies. Here at Prime, we're like 12, 13%. So we almost double that. We love our lady drivers. There's no doubt about it. You guys do an awesome job and, continue doing it. And we really push that. This profession has definitely opened up. I know 25 years ago now, you didn't see too many females out there driving. Now you see a lot more, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. And we even have Carla over here. Oh, we got Doreen over here. She drives with Donnie. Yeah, you guys do a great job, and we appreciate every one of you. But hopefully you get to that gala if you can, April 11th. April 12th is what's April 12th, Dennis? Oh, that's our awards up in Jeff City. That's a different thing.
Right.
Let's go with April 22nd. Am I hitting the dates right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? No, Friday, April 22nd is our truck driving championships out here on the training pad. So that's kind of my gig. I enjoy doing that. I get some help from our safety folks and from our in-house people. If you can make it back and you have a CDL, you're more than welcome to participate. Doesn't matter what your safety record is. Doesn't matter, if you've had a couple critical events in the last few months. Show up and have fun. We'll have a big barbecue out there. We'll have the barbecue set up. John Blancett and his folks, free food, tents. We'll have music. We'll have a good time. The top 3 winners will get trophies. They also get prizes too as well. So
what's that time? What time does it start?
Start at 5 p.m. on the 22nd of April. So
rain, sleet, or snow, right?
Rain, sleet, or snow. We've been in it all around here. So this one here is for we call it the Mo qualifier. I need a team to take the state. Every year we take before COVID, we took a team to state. But since COVID happened, we've had to cancel our state competition and our national competition. But now we're getting back in the swing of that. So our Missouri State Truck Driving Championships will be the first weekend in June, and I need to get a team together. So that's why we're having one April 22nd. Approximately the top 10, 15 drivers will take down here to Branson. And you guys will compete. And the week before, you'll be in here practicing as well and getting better and having a good time, hopefully, and learning a lot because it's a big part of safety is this truck driving championship. So Kevin, got a question, buddy?
Yeah, isn't there something going on in Las Vegas for our 7th consecutive year of being best fleet to drive for a large fleet?
We did win. Was that this weekend you're talking about? Yep. It's this weekend. Yeah, we are. Matter of fact, that's a good point, Kevin. Thank you. We were awarded and we'll be awarded, I believe it's Tuesday night. Is that right, Keith? Do you know? Is it? We'll be awarded our top, we won 3rd place for TCA Safety Fleet Contest. Not only that, we got Glenn Horak over here. Glenn will be up there for Owner Operator of the Year. Come on up here, Glenn. Let's get you some FaceTime. Come on. What are you going to do this weekend, man? You going to stay around here?
Nah, I'm gonna go to Vegas and gamble.
Don't take too much money because they'll take it from you. You know that.
Sometimes.
So Glenn Horak, 4 million mile safe driver here, Prime.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's my 4th trip to TCA as a finalist for Owner Operator of the Year. Hopefully we can win it this time.
There you go. Last year, we don't know what place you came in. They just do the top one, don't they?
It says runner up on the plaque. So.
Really, you're number 1 with us, so you always will be. But
I hear you.
they take the top 3. This is your 4th time or 5th?
4th.
4th. Okay, good deal. So best of luck to you. What goes into all that? How do you get up there that high and be recognized?
It starts with safety, most of it, and they check your driving record, your profitability, and everything, and you have to write essays on different stuff, and they just put it all together and go from there.
Got a little help from Mitch over here too as well. Mitch help you out, and Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All right. So what do you? If you do win, what do you get?
25 grand.
25 grand, man. Well, best of luck, Glenn. What advice could you give these all the new folks coming in here this week and running in fog? We usually don't talk a whole lot about that. We probably should put more emphasis on it.
I mean, running in fog just like any other weather condition. Slow down or get off the road, one or the other.
There you go. Good point. So, any questions for Glenn up here? Any comments? Anything? Or any questions for us in safety? So, it's not. Glenn, best of luck, buddy. Love you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yep, no doubt. What's that? Next speaker. Yeah. April 4th, Million Mile Award too. I'm sorry, we left that out. Is that for all years?
So it's going
You
to
got
be
the notes on that.
on April 4th. We're going to do folks that have achieved the threshold of 1,000,000 miles. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the years of 20 and 21. So normally we open it up for everybody that that already has achieved it, and we come and we fellowship together. But we're going to make it exclusive for people that have reached that milestone in years that we've missed due to COVID. So if you haven't already received an invitation via Qualcomm, you'll be receiving one very shortly. So if you're interested in coming, if you've got that milestone and you want to come and be celebrated, just be sure to RSVP to the link they send you.
See, I got one of those watches too, but I just can't read it because I don't have my glasses. That's why I use you. So let's bring our first speaker up here. Stan Kasterke, I already mentioned him. Stan's in charge of our training program over here. Stan went up with me yesterday, like I said, and glad to have him up here. Talk a little bit about instructor qualifications or whatever else you want to throw in. So.
Well, I have one fan here, Mr. Williams. She's clapped for me when I came.
There you go.
So yeah, I don't. The pressure's on now. So I hope everyone's doing well this morning. Hey, first I want to mention our precious Miss DeSilva. She's here this morning. She lost her husband William last week. She's been in our prayers, but also we're very fortunate to have William's family here with us this morning too. So welcome. Thank you. You know, you are part of the Prime family, whether you want to be or not. Okay. We appreciate you all being here this morning, and we're definitely keeping you in our prayers. So thank you for that. One other thing that we're going to have, we love to eat around here. You know, I say I'm Baptist enough that I just like to eat all the time. That's what we do. So, but on June the 2nd, we're going to have our instructor trainer banquet. We're going to do this a little bit different this year. We're not going to just have just a select group of people coming in. We're going to open this up more, and there's going to be more information on that later on. So just wanted to kind of put that out there so you can get that on your calendar. How many instructors and trainers do we have in here this morning? appreciate you all and appreciate what you do. So we need more instructors. We need more trainers. Okay. If you're interested in that, you can talk to your fleet manager to there's a vetting process. You know, all of our drivers at Prime are great drivers. There's some people who don't want instructor train, and that's okay. But for those of you who have considered that, please continue to consider, talk to your fleet manager so you can, so we can do that vetting process to get you engaged in that. Okay. I don't really have a lot to say this morning. I just wanted to throw that out there. We have kind of changed our class. So I'll talk about this for just a second. We slowed down bringing PSDs in for a little while because we have so many people that want to come to work at Prime that we had a pretty good sized class of PSDs, which then rolled over to the TNT phase. And we have a lot of folks who have been waiting on a trainer. So we've slowed down recruiting for just a little while so we can get caught up. Isn't it great to work for a company that you're growing so fast, you have to slow down? Doesn't happen very often. I can tell you, it doesn't happen in most trucking companies. Here at Prime, it does. So we're very fortunate to do that. But if you have any questions for me, I'll be here after class. For those of you that are just new to the group this week, just finished orientation PSDs, I'm going to meet with you over in this corner after this meeting. And I appreciate you all choosing Prime. Appreciate you all being here, and be safe. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Stan. Any questions for Stan before he gets off? All right, you got off scot-free. Well,
All right, since Dave took like 30 minutes of the meeting just to talk by himself, we're going to keep it rolling to get with our next speakers. Something we haven't done in quite a while is we have Justin Kaufman up here. Justin runs our road assist department, but more importantly, Justin works with all these vendors, and then that's particularly important these days. And Justin will kind of explain to you why. Come on up, Justin.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, absolutely. In today's environment, there are a number of parts shortages. I mean, you hear it. There's a lot of labor challenges out there. On the parts side, we say every week, it's kind of like the flavor of the week. What is the problem this week? And I can tell you, whenever we look at our trucks down, this week on the Freightliner side, we had issues getting depth pumps and, anything with the microchip in it. Controllers are sometimes hard to get. But, in the past, it's just been various different parts. And so, our strategy, whenever we have an unscheduled event, a truck go down, which we'd prefer not to have, so being proactive is definitely better than being reactive. But whenever we do have this unscheduled event, our goal is to work to get your truck into a shop, which may not be the closest shop, but the best shop that actually has a technician available to express assess. Most of these major dealer groups, whether it's Freightliner or Peterbilt, they have implemented processes to be able to express assess, which is just a quick triage, a 2-hour express bay where they can get you in, and if it's something simple, as you guys have probably, already seen, they'll go ahead and fix it during the express assessment process. But even past that express assessment process is, which dealers, and this is what the advisors, your road assist advisor, is going through, but which dealer can actually, get your truck in if it goes past that express assessment process and get it fixed. In the event that there's a parts issue, that is when we immediately, start to reach out to our on-site reps who, have really been doing an incredible job working to get parts shipped into some dealers to get them fixed. And they, on the backside, they're working with their OE, with their big corporate parts managers. They're working with their suppliers to get parts pulled and get shipped in, and so this is a process that we do. And, it's not just working with our suppliers and the OEs, but, we're also, always looking for, any wreck trucks that we can take parts off of, or, any strategy, any avenue we can go down, even pulling some parts sometimes off of some new trucks to get your truck up and going. So, but these folks, these reps, I'm going to go through and I'm going to introduce them. We have a number of on-site reps, and one thing I'll say is that, if you have a problem, if your truck's been in the shop for a while or it's been had a repeat issue, these folks are who we want to escalate the problems to, because they can work with their engineers, they can work with their OE to identify what is really causing the root cause. Sometimes we have these cases where we go into shop A, shop A doesn't fix it, and then we're going to shop B or shop C, and they have connections up in their OE world to make things happen and to get things rolling. So first rep I'm going to introduce here, Van, you can come on up here. This is Van Gertner. Van is our on-site Peterbilt rep, and I can tell you that he has a lot of Peterbilt customers. He has a lot of their cell phones, lease operators. I know he's got Glenn Horhack's cell number in his phone.
I would say
All right.
Glenn's got mine.
So there you go. But if you drive a Peterbilt truck, he is your guy. He's got it all locked down. And even I can tell you, both of us get calls, late at night sometimes. Not calls that we sometimes want, but needed calls to get things taken care of. And so, Van, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Van, obviously. I've been here about 9 years as the on-site rep for Prime. All you green jackets that are new, you chose a good place to be. Yes, we do stay in-house. We're here most days. I do share my cell phone number with all of my drivers. I think it's important you be able to reach me. I mean, we do have Road Assist, who also has my cell phone number. They reach me. We do get calls at all hours, weekends. Y'all work. Well, y'all are not an 8 to 5. We try not to be 8 to 5. We try to keep y'all running as often and best as we can. And we do, like Justin said earlier, if there is ever an issue, sometimes we don't tell you to go to the shop that's 5 miles down the road. Road Assist and myself, all the reps that do what I do, we have long-standing relationships with a lot of shops across the country. We have preferences, and we're those there for a reason. We kind of struggle with some shops and not others. We try to get y'all to the shop that's going to take care of you soonest and most accurately. We hate repeats. Everybody hates repeats. But I'm here and available as often as I can be. If you have an issue, if you're in a Peterbilt, reach out to me. I sit down by leasing. I'm here during the day. I can be here at other times if I'm needed. Obviously, Justin's team can reach me via email, cell phone, whatever, especially if you've got issues that just repeat. Like I said, that's something we bird dog all the time. We hate repeat issues, hate issues in general. And challenges of the day right now, like he said, parts, the parts world is horrible, and it takes a lot of effort to make sure we don't wait on stuff. Even when we wait 1 or 2 days or 3 days on a part, I guarantee you other companies are waiting 3 to 4 weeks, 2 months. We're lucky enough that we've kind of been doing this a while, and we've got better avenues to keep our stuff running.
All right. Any questions for Van? Okay, thank you, Van. The next contestant here is Chad Taylor. Chad was a technician over on the floor at Summit. Very, very mechanically inclined. He can work the shop's technicians through the right way to repair the truck, and oftentimes does. So tell the group about you.
I've been here, I think, going on 2 years now as on-site for International. Before that's 20 years in the shop as a technician over in the shop here in Springfield. So I know a thing or two about a truck. So if we have problems, I can for sure dig into it and let you know exactly what we got going on and what we need to do to fix it. Going back to what Van was talking about with the parts issues and things of that nature, what you guys don't see is on the back side of everything. When a dealership tells you, hey, don't have a part, it's going to be back ordered. What you're not seeing is us reps jumping in and we're promising favors, calling in favors, begging, borrowing, pleading, jumping on somebody's desk to get what you guys need. Some of our better shops across the country that used to get you guys in and out in 48 hours or less, just due to manpower now, or 72 hours or more now. So we will move trucks if we need to be. We will twist arms. We still will make Prime priority whenever you guys go into a shop. So we have contacts all across the country. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. I do sit on the main floor over in the Z building by leasing as well. So we are always available, come stop by, say hi, grab a card. It's got my cell phone number on it. So we're always there for you guys.
All right, thank you, Chad. We are missing a few on-site reps due to spring break, but I'm going to go ahead and bring them up or mention them. One is Jeff Wara. He's our on-site Freightliner rep. And then, with Jeff in the back, we got Brad Sturgis. If you want to stand up, Brad. But he's actually the branch manager, VP for Premier Truck Center, Springfield Freightliner here in town. And so, once again, Jeff does an incredible job. You got a Freightliner problem, he's your go-to guy today, Brad. And I can field any questions that you may have if you have any problems with your Freightliner truck. I'd also like to bring up, I think Forrest Owens is back there from the tri-state side. But at any rate, if you've got a Volvo problem, we got a few Volvos, he's your guy there. And, our goal is that if you have a problem, we want to work to get it taken care of. We've also got on-site Carrier and Thermo King reps that can help, mop up any issues there. If you got a tri-pack issue or, if you've always wondered what this specific problem is with a reefer, we can take care of that. But lastly, we in Road Assist, and the reps are very much involved with this. We offer a class called Pro Maintenance. Many of you have heard of this. If you haven't been through this class, I highly recommend it. The reps get involved here in Springfield, offer good input, on their subject matter with their trucks. But the purpose of this Pro Maintenance class is to put some tools in your hands and show you how to do some simple repairs, and also kind of show you the value of doing some small repairs yourself. As we've already talked about, the labor challenges out there, shop challenges, are definitely causing increased wait times, and not just at dealerships, but at truck stops like TA Petro, Love's, specifically nights and weekends. And so, versus sitting around and waiting for a headlight bulb to be changed at Love's or something, this class will teach you how to do that. It'll teach you how to change a headlight bulb. It'll teach you how to, and not just that, but save that $120+ an hour, on your truck. And so, from a time standpoint and everything else, we highly recommend that you take that class. It's offered Tuesdays and Thursdays here in Springfield, 8 a.m. to about 11. And we hope to soon roll that out in Pittston. We got all the workstations up there. I would say within this next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have it rolling up there. Any questions for me?
All right, we're gonna let you off easy today.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all our vendors for being here every single Friday morning. So, all right, we're gonna keep it rolling because we're pressed for time. I'm gonna ask Stan Allman and Derek Hossman to come on. Stan is one of our operations supervisors in the refrigerator division, and Derek is the fleet manager and also an SBU leader, I believe, in our refrigerator division. So they're going to talk about a new service initiative or an enhanced service initiative. So thanks.
Yeah, amongst other things. Good to see everybody. I want to start off with thanking all the folks that are brand new here in our PSD program. Thank you for choosing what we think is the best driver training program in the nation. You could have picked a lot of places, hundreds, when you Googled truck driving jobs, and you chose Prime, and we really appreciate that. And tag on, our OEM reps, and our vendors, they do an incredible job. Every night, Justin's online. I was wondering if these guys sleep, because I'm on this group email that has Road Assist in our shop and the OEM reps, fleet manager, leasing. When they have a problem, they're going to rob a part off of a legal haul truck, a truck that's been turned in out here. They're going to do whatever they have to get this driver going. So you got a lot of folks behind you when you have an issue, and we're going to get you going as fast as we possibly can. And I really appreciate that as an operations person. So, we came up here to talk a little bit about operations. Derek is a fleet manager. You're going on 10 years, right?
Next month.
He's a former FedEx guy, so he may talk a little bit about that. But, I've been here almost 26. And I've been an operations manager for 20. So I haven't dispatched a load in 20 years. So I had to make a list of all the service requirements on a load because I might forget some of them. So I'm going to have Derek help me through those. But, mainly what we're going to talk about this morning our PTC program. Anybody in here have their PTC ring? I already knew the answer to that because I saw a couple guys that I knew for sure. Now that's a ring that you receive when you delivered on time for 2 straight years here at Prime. And when you've done that, your first 2 years, we go in and order a ring and we put a diamond in it. And then every year after that, for consistent service, you get another diamond. So, that's through our company store. So I called Tiffany this morning because I know those rings are pretty valuable because we've had drivers get them stolen or lose them or whatever. So the price, and that goes by the price of gold. So everybody knows precious metals have been up recently with all that's going on overseas. So the ladies' ring right now is $723 with that first diamond in it. And the men's ring, which is quite a bit bigger, is $1,316, for that ring. So I guarantee you guys, you value it a lot more than that, don't you? A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into those rings, and our fleet managers and our drivers are the protectors of that program. So, we have to do the right things. And, when a service failure happens, we have to look at it, see what happened and make the correct decision, on that service failure. There's a lot of different codings in there. It can be shipper, it can be weather, it can be a mechanical failure, could be driver, just depends on the circumstances, and it all starts when you get a load assignment. You're always under, basically, you get empty and you're waiting on another load. So, and that time spent, you should be thinking, what are going to be my load requirements, the service requirements on the next load. So I'll kind of let Derek get in there for a few minutes and then we'll continue that on.
Yeah, just talking about service, we get caught up sometimes on just making sure that we're picking up on time. We get hung up on these appointment times and we put a lot of pressure on them. Our customers expect a lot from us and from you guys. They want us to communicate, but really there's a lot of aspects to service, that go beyond just appointment times. We want to make sure that we're picking these things up on time and all this freight, but we also need to get it there safely, right? We need to get it there with, damage free. We've got to make sure that we're cordial with the customers that we're working with on site, shippers, receivers. There's a pretty big expectation because we are Prime. A lot of the industry and other carriers even look to us. Our customers certainly look to us, with service because we've done such a good job of it. It's not just about picking up and deliver on time. It's about taking care of our customers and taking care of their freight and their product. And that's really the emphasis. Stan mentioned I worked at FedEx. I was there for about 8 years. You guys know running those loads, the immense pressure that's on there to get those on time. They don't want them out of route. They don't want us to take extra stops. FedEx is our customer. Part of that expectation is that we're going to communicate with you guys and you guys are going to communicate with us. We're held to the standard of time, but we're also held to a bigger overall standard of service. So that's one thing to keep in mind. When we talk about service, it's all encompassing of these things. It's not any one particular issue. Our customers expect and have seen that we step up and provide it as a total package.
You bet. So I know everybody when they think about service, the first thing they think of is picking it up on time and delivering it on time. But you got to arrive at that shipper with a clean, dry trailer with a working reefer. That's a great thing to show up with, huh? Already done that pre-trip, make sure everything's working right, and then are you part of the loading process? Is it a produce load? It's going to be, shipper load driver count. You're going to be involved in that loading process and make sure they load it correctly where you can drive that up and down the highways and it won't shift, and you won't have any claims. So then you get it loaded, you block and brace it, and you get a set of bills. What's one of the most important things you can do with those bills? Anybody? Read them. You got great information on there. And one thing about it, I'll mention it right now because we've had several claims because of this. The app makes it very convenient to have your load information. Back when I was a fleet manager, you had to go to your truck to get that off your Qualcomm. So now you can just see it, and then you do your live loaded call, and you do it with your phone. Well, no, you've got to do that with your bills in hand. And that's our requirement because you have to read those bills. That's a legal document. It doesn't matter what we send you as far as the temperature. What temperature is on that bills is going to be the temperature that we run it at. And if that difference 1 second, we'll get to you. All right. Thank you. And that's going to be the temperature that we run it at. And if there's a difference between your Qualcomm information and what's on those bills, call your fleet manager right away. So, and let them know, and we'll get that fixed, because like I said, that is the legal document. So, and you also, what else would you want to look at on your bills? Destinations. They change all the time. Somebody might have given that product back to them and say, hey, we didn't sell it. We don't need it. And they sell it to somebody else going a totally different direction. You know, before we had the live loaded call process, we used to have a couple of these a month going to the wrong destination because unfortunately we didn't read our bills. You know, the live loaded call, that second set of eyes has helped us. And I haven't seen one of those in a while where we went to the wrong direction. So you got to look for destination and destinations. Maybe you only show a 91 delivery and you get bills for 2 stops. You know, call your fleet manager. We'll get that updated based on that information. Okay, sir, what did you?
When I call in to do my live load and I have a different temperature, and it happens often, why is it an argument or a problem with what it says on the bills, but yet Prime wants it what we're told on the Qualcomm? That has happened to me more than once. Why is it an issue when we have the bills in our hands, but yet we have to run it what Prime wants it at?
Right. And trucking, you know, there's no hard lines. You know, unfortunately, we do have some customers where we run it differently than what the bill said for their request, but those are very, very few and far between on some different produce loads and stuff because they're mixed produce loads, and we know a little bit better than they do about what temperature we want to run it at. So, but we have an agreement with them, so that could happen from time to time. And here's the deal, and I know Derek will back me up on this. If you have an issue during the live loaded call, just tell them, you know, thank you. I'm gonna work through my fleet manager, you know, and hang up and call your fleet manager, you know, and get that information and make sure we got the right information and get that rolling safely in the right direction. You know, when I'm talking about this, you know, a lot of people, you know, don't like the live loaded call process. You know, I've already mentioned that it's a second set of eyes. So Jamie Eli keeps track of our wait times. So, you know, right now our average wait time is about 52 seconds on the live loaded call. Now, I know everybody's got a horror story where they've waited longer than that. Derek, how long do you tell your drivers to wait on the live loaded call?
Well, honestly, I've had some tell me sometimes, not just live loaded calls, but if they're waiting for anything, you know, somebody calls me and says, man, I waited 20, 30 minutes, you know, waiting on whatever it is they're trying to get. And my first question is, or actually my first statement is, man, I would never wait that long. I would hang up and call my fleet manager, you know, hang up and call me. You know, if I have any drivers out here, they'd probably tell you that. I know I saw Jamal this morning. I mean, that's exactly how I handle that. You know, as a fleet manager, I've got skin in the game. So I definitely want to make sure that my drivers are rolling. And more importantly, if we have a situation like this gentleman was bringing up over here, you know, we have a difference in the temperature. If something goes wrong there and we haven't made sure that we're running this at the right temp, I've got skin in the game too. Whoever your fleet manager is has skin in the game. They're going to share in that cost. So we want you guys to call us. We're asking you guys to call us in those scenarios and situations so that we can help take care of it, so that we can communicate with sales and the customer and make sure that we know that this legal document is either correct or we need to make a correction. So it's very, very important. You know, I want you guys to take that away today. Like, we're asking for your help. I, as a fleet manager, am asking for my drivers to call me in those situations because it is important. We've seen how important it is. It's tens of thousands of dollars important. So yeah, absolutely.
Right on. So, you know, we've read our bills. We've got everything set. Last thing we do, they get seal on the trailer, make sure that's noted on the bills, put your lock on the trailer. You know, hopefully you had to take your lock off there when you got there. Because remember, we're locking our trailers 24/7, 365. You know, and that's kind of the reason we wanted to get in front of everybody today, because starting April 2nd, you know, we're doing these lock incidences and we're checking them at all locations, you know, and drivers are out there, their eyes on the road. We say, you see something, say something. See a trailer unlocked, you know, call your fleet manager, give them that trailer number, because we need those trailers locked. We haul the nation's food supply and pharmaceuticals, and we have to have those trailers locked all the time. And we're going to, starting April 2nd, we're going to add a service fare to that load if you do not have a lock on that load. And, you know, we recently had a driver advisory board meeting. You know, Donnie will back me up on this. He's on the board. And we said, why won't drivers lock their trailers? Because we keep going through this, and going through it, asking for a commitment. Trailers are unlocked. A lot of answers there, a lot of different opinions. And said, well, how do you want to solve it? And that came out of the driver advisory board, that's what we want to do, is put a service failure on that load, because it is one of the service requirements. And all these service requirements we're going through. If we show up at the receiver and with a produce load and we picked up 4 or 5 POs, have we serviced that customer properly? No, they didn't get all the product they ordered. Or if there's a claim because we didn't block and brace properly, we didn't do what we required. They've got damaged product and they're not going to get all they ordered. So picking up and receiving is just part of that equation. A lot of points on these loads with the service requirements, and like I said, alloy lock, don't get a cheap master lock or anything like that. They can cut those off in seconds. Alloy lock, and I guarantee you, Robert Lowe will back this up. If you have your alloy lock on it and a thief cuts it off and you have a claim, you will not be responsible for that claim. Lock your trailer, please. We're going to take questions here in a second, but go ahead.
I've noticed a lot of drivers don't have the alloy locks still. What is going to be done about that if that is reported back to the company from us drivers? Are you going to do anything about the ones that don't care to do their job and buy an alloy lock?
Well, my first response is at least they've got a lock on there. We'll bring it to their attention. Hey, let's get you to one of our terminals, and get you or out there and purchase you an alloy lock. And we've made sure that we have them at our terminals. So, you see it, like I said, see something, say something. That's the key here. We're all in this together. We got to deliver these loads, pick them up and deliver them accident and claim free and on time. So you have anything else, Derek?
Yeah, I just wanted to add there, you're asking, well, what do we do? How do we handle this? What do we do if they just don't care? I can be honest with you guys. Usually what I find as a fleet manager is if they don't care about this, there's a handful of things they may not care about, and we have a collection of issues where maybe it becomes a situation where it becomes too great of a liability. That's why we ask for that commitment. We ask for that commitment from our drivers, not just to put a lock on the trailer, but to do all the things we're talking about, provide service, and all the aspects of service. So if they're not willing to do something that we're asking as far as a lock, which is something we commit to our customers, there's probably a few other issues there too. And that's generally what we see. My best drivers, they don't give me an argument if I ask for their commitment for a lock. They say, absolutely. I sent a fleet message out and said, hey, if you don't have an alloy lock, let's get one. Let's put a plan together today. Let me know how I can help. Do we need to charge it to the truck? What do we need to do to get this in your hands? So we're here to help. I guarantee if you ask your fleet manager, can you help me get an alloy lock so that I can secure this load? The answer is going to be yes. And you're going to start putting a plan together to get that done.
I just got a little quick statement. When you do your depart, shipper right on there asks you if you put your lock on your trailer. So right away, you're falsifying a statement if you say yes and it's not on there. You're lying to the company right off the get-go. A lot of places that fire you for lying to them over it. So, you get your service failure for not putting your lock on when you're saying, yes, I did.
Yeah, and our hope there is that we're keeping honest people honest. Honestly, it's what it is,
And it is truly about a commitment. We're not going to say, put your lock on your trailer. We're going to ask you if you'll commit to putting your lock on your trailer at all times. And the one I know frustrates a lot of people is when it's empty. But folks can put something in that trailer, to poison that load or whatever. That seems far-fetched, but it could happen. Anything. So empty and loaded, 24/7, 365. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Question?
Well, I got just a statement. We need to get some alloy locks at lineup because the only place you can get them now is at the store, and in the middle of the night, you can't get to the store.
Okay. Thank you, Gunn. Good idea.
Question and piston.
Oh, okay. Bill said they already have them out there. Oh, see, that was fast.
Good job, Bill.
Back here. Sorry.
Question and piston.
Go ahead. 1 second, Keith. We're going to take a question in Pittston.
Yeah, I want to go back to the beginning of what you started saying way back when you were talking about service times and arrival times and such like that. Not to assign blame one way or the other, whether it's a shipper or sales department or whoever is actually at fault, but there's a lot of times where we will get to a shipper or receiver and find out as we get there that no, your appointment was 6 hours ago and you're late now. How do we go about getting that sort of situation corrected when we have a window from 7 to like 5 in the evening and they're saying, well, you're supposed to be here at 6 a.m.?
So, a lot of things could have happened there. That prime window is our prime service window. So if you meet that, we're not going to put a service failure against you. These customers, a lot of times, with the shortage of capacity and trucks out there, they just say, get us a truck here. And that guy on the dock, he may not know that. He's not the one involved in that phone call, and he might have supposed to got off at 3 o'clock, and you're there, at 3:05, and he's going to have to stay for a little while. But, there's a lot that goes into that. But I promise you, you won't be charged a service failure if you meet one of our service windows.
Right, but I mean, the accuracy of the information that we're getting on our app, our load information says you're supposed to be here from this time to this time, and now the customer's already upset because we're 6 hours behind what they have in their system, and nobody can agree on who actually sets that appointment.
Right, and like I said, that just may involve people that you're not talking to, that said, hey, we'll take a truck, just get it here as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah, some of the situations we're actually cleaning up from what another carrier may have left. We're jumping in and taking that load and taking that freight and ready to run it.
Yeah, and I apologize for putting you in that situation, but just get on the phone with your fleet manager, let them know they're upset, and we'll call that customer and let them know we're there and hopefully appease that situation for you. Because there are a lot of upset customers right now, and we're doing all we can on capacity. And I see Donnie over here shaking his head. We have the top service in the industry, we're still up against it. Like Derek says, there's many reasons why we may inherit a load, and we're going to do the best we can with that. And Stan Casterkey was up here and he talked about, the amount of folks that are wanting to come to Prime. So here's an example. We're limiting our number of PSDs we bring into orientation a week right now to 75. I guarantee you probably high 90% of the trucking companies would jump up and down if they had 75 of total in their orientation class. So, you guys have all helped us establish a brand out there, and drivers want to come to work here. And that's helping us create capacity. We're growing almost every day, and we're taking this problem head on. But unfortunately, we're one of the few trucking companies out there that does pre-CDL training. So that's why we have that option available. But, like I said, we're doing all we can. We need trainers. We didn't talk about TNTs. We had 199 TNTs waiting this morning for a trainer. So, if you're in here and that's something you want to do down the road, or you're eligible now, thinking about it, we'd really appreciate you helping us out and get some of those TNTs picked up. And I'm going to talk directly to the new PSDs. We always want to plant that seed early, don't we, Derek?
Early enough.
Somebody's going to instruct and train you, and we just ask that down the road you pay it forward. At least give this a shot and then try and instruct it and train it when you're eligible to do that. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Sorry, forgot about that one.
Well, I have like a couple things to his comment about the lock. So there's a couple of times to where I've left my lock on the trailer, or I've lost my key, never had to cut it off. So I got to get one from a truck stop, but they don't have the same ones that Prime have. So in that situation, you might not be able to get the lock that you all say that y'all want on the trailers, but we will have one on there.
Right. And that goes back to what Donnie was saying, or Glenn, I can't remember who it was. Put that lock on there, get that lesser lock, and then let your fleet manager know so we can get you someplace to get you an Attaboy lock.
And the second one is, so a couple of loads ago, maybe like 2 loads ago, I picked up a trailer from the yard in Denver, Colorado, and I delivered it. And when I got to the 90, one of the pallets had fell over. So I know sometimes whenever we leave the shippers, they won't let us open the trailer to check to see if it's secured. So, that becomes the issue a lot of times. I do let my fleet manager know every time they say we can't open it, but that did happen like just recently.
Right. So it comes out on your load assignment. If that's SLC, which means shipper load and count, and they don't let you look at it, they're responsible for it. As long as you keep that continuous sale record, they're responsible for any claims. But now if it's, shipper load driver count and they don't let you peek in that trailer, or you're not, don't let you on the dock, you need to be calling your fleet manager right away when that happens, okay? Because you are going to be held responsible. So if they're not allowing you to do that duty, we need to get that load changed to shipper load and count.
All right, well, this one I picked it up from a prime yard.
Right. Right. So you were delivering a local and one of the pallets had shifted. Yeah. Well, it'll go back to the service on the load. You obviously didn't do anything, so you wouldn't be held liable for that. It's hard for me to answer with not knowing what the service requirements were on the load, but yeah, as delivering that local, unless you end up having a hard break or accident or something like that, you wouldn't be held liable for that claim.
I have a comment about the locks. Can you make sure on the outbound loads, a lot of times if you got drivers leaving in the middle of the night, they're tired and stuff, that they make sure they get them red locks off them trailers, because it's happened more than once where we get to a ship to a receiver, they don't have the trailer, it's still got that lock that it's put on here.
Right. We sure will. Bill Shaky said so he'll take care of that. Yep. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. All right. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Derek. It's always telling that, when those questions keep rolling in, that we need to get those guys down here a little bit more often. So hint Stan, hint Derek, we're probably going to be hitting you up here in the near future to get you back. So as we close out, I think White's got something for you.
I got Mr. Veteran coming up here, Steven. Steven, come on up, buddy. How you doing? Good deal. What do you think of your first Friday morning meeting?
It's been great, very informative.
Good deal. What'd you do before you come to Prime?
Working at FedEx, and I was an Uber driver.
FedEx, like loading trucks or
Loading trucks, yes.
Good deal. All right, that's some good experience there.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Jacksonville, Florida.
And this is your first week of orientation?
Yes, sir.
Have you been up here before?
No, sir.
This part of the country? Yeah. Get a little bit further north, we'll get you up in some snow one of these days, but that'll happen with your training,
A
hopefully.
little snowstorm driving up here.
There you go. So what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Army.
Army. How many years?
8 years.
What'd you do?
Military police.
All right. Where at?
I was stationed at Fort McClellan when it was open.
Okay.
Mostly I was deployed to Panama and Cuba.
Oh, nice weather down there.
Both places.
They didn't have to worry about snow there, obviously.
No.
So
I just want to ask all our veterans to stand up and be recognized.
thank you for your service, Stephen. Appreciate it. All right. Have a good day. Good luck in your training too. What do we got to finish it out, Dennis?
All right. We're going to ask, so Steve Lucky's not here, so that means we get to arbitrarily pick somebody to come up and introduce Robert. So, the good thing about these is these leaders are ready at an instant to come up here and give whatever information. So Keith McCoy, I'm going to ask you to come on up. You probably knew it was coming, though.
Well, I suspected it since you're out of other victims. I'm the last one standing. They're all
No spring break for you,
they're
huh?
all on spring break. Yeah. Thank you guys, the new people, for coming. I really appreciate it. I just told this gentleman here, my father was an MP, so it was a nice to meet him and hear what he had to say there. Robert's going to come up in a few minutes and talk about what you mean to us and how valuable you are to us. From a sales perspective, I can't thank you enough. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have the customer base we do today. You pick them up on time, you deliver them on time, and you do it safely. But safety is always going to be number one. Now, this is a sales guy telling you this. I want every load picked up on time. I want every load delivered on time. But your safety and the safety of everybody else is more important than that. So if you're not comfortable with the conditions, if you're not comfortable with your circumstances, if you're not comfortable with your experience level, shut it down, get safe, call in, communicate. That's all we ask, and we'll take it from there. I would rather you go home to your wife and kids and uncles and aunts and sons and daughters than to have an accident and you get hurt, or God forbid somebody else get hurt. So safety number one. And with that, Robert's here and he'll finish it up.
Hey, thanks, Keith. Yeah, you guys ran way over time, so I haven't got any time left.
And I think they did that to me intentionally so I wouldn't get to talk much. But it's good to see you all. I too thank you for what you do. You're special folks here. You're appreciated and respected here, and I want you to always keep that in mind. We have a couple folks that I want to recognize. We've got Glenn Horak right here that is nominated for TCA Operator of the Year this year. He's fixing to go out to the gambling state. He's going to Vegas. He's going to be partying down in Vegas. I hope you win some money. If you lose, don't lose very much. You win, let it rip, go for it. But Glenn, our thoughts are with you. We wish you the best. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to be there, but my thoughts are with you. I'm with you all the way, man, and I wish you the very best. Also, Dee Sova and her family. Dee, unfortunately, lost her husband, William, a week ago. And, Dee is so precious and valuable. She's America Road Team, a spokesman for the industry, a spokesman for the independent contractor cause. Has talked to senators and congressmen. She's truly an articulate and elegant spokesman for our industry. Dee, why don't you stand up so people can see you back there? And she has her family with her, and our condolences. We appreciate you all very much. So I said I'd be brief. I'll be brief. Freight is good right now. Trucking is good, but it's not easy. It's not easy. You got to watch your P's and Q's. You got to cross your T's and dot your I's every time, and it's not easy to do because it repeats and it's over and over, and it's complex at times. It's complex. We do it better than anybody else. We do it better than anybody else, but we got to just rejuvenate ourselves and recommit ourselves to doing all those things, that make prime service special and valuable, because we charge for it, right? And we even in favor of charging a little bit more for it, right? And we want to keep it going. We've made a lot of progress in that regard, but the service that we provide, which includes security and protecting the product, keeping it at the right temperature, and all those kinds of things go into that service ingredient that we sell, and we get that premium for, and we want to continue to do that. So I thank you for what you do. You're a great group. Your family. If I can help you in any way, you let me know. God bless each of you, and please be safe. I shake your hand too. What do you vote, man?
That's right. He's gonna.